What is up, guys? Eric here with Team Eccentric, and I'm bringing you guys my first place Mermail Atlantean deck for the Alliance Insight sneak peek at my locals. It's a little small tournament. It wasn't anything like super crazy, but a lot of the better, or not a lot of, but a good chunk of the better players in the Buffalo Yu-Gi-Oh community were there. Obviously, it was a sneak peek. Everybody wants to get their stuff early on. But yeah, I managed to miraculously take first place. And to be fair, it was mostly due to tiebreakers because I did lose. I did lose round 3, I believe, to a good buddy of mine, TJ Nowak. Shout out to him. He's been on the channel before. Definitely one of the better players I know for sure. And but due to tiebreakers, I ended up getting into the semifinals, and I ended up getting my clat back, and I managed to win that match against him, which honestly even I was kind of shocked because I got lucky, I guess. He drew all mostly non-engine. His deck was Live Twin Fiendsmith, which was really vexing to say the least, but it was a very good deck. It was a very good match. We were just, in the second time we played in the tournament, we just like had a war of attrition where we were just throwing hand traps at each other, trying to see who could resolve hand traps and trying to see who could get to engine as quickly as possible. And then so after that, I ended up going to the finals. When I played against another one of our better players around here, Adam Kosmowski. He was playing Malice, and with the new support, he had everything. And it was actually it wasn't like a decisive win necessarily until game 3. Game 1, I managed to set up a board with Gaios, Barrier Statue, Abyss Trite, and the Link Monster. The Mermail Kidnapped Abyss, and that was enough, obviously, to win. Then game 2, I had hand traps, and I even follow-losed him, and he was able to play through it. And he activated talents and shuffled back my Dominus Impulse. At one point, and because I also nibbed him, so I had a monster on the board, so he could activate the card he sets. Then game 3, he had Perulia, so game 3 I was starting, so he had Perulia. I had Ash Blossom as a response, and then from there I went Minstrel, discard the Shadow Squad, and from there he showed me his hand. He was like, "Yeah, I got nothing, bro. You got it." So I won the mat and I won the promo card, so it was pretty crazy. I honestly wasn't even expecting to get that far in the tournament, but I managed to win it. So we'll just get into the deck profile. I'm not gonna go crazy and explain what my cards did or anything, because we all know what Mermails do. I will say the deck count did jump a little bit, which I went against my rule about only playing 40 cards. And excuse me, I'm sorry, it's like super early in the morning. And to be quite honest with you, it didn't really hinder me too much, but it still throws my OCD off a little bit in terms of deck size. But I don't know. It kind of opens my mind a little bit in terms of deck count, but I'm still gonna just play 40 cards for as many decks as I can. However, I increased the deck count for one tournament and I managed to win it, even though I only won mostly because of tiebreakers. I managed to pull out wins against some of our better players. So I'll get into it. We'll just talk about the deck. So starting off, we got Triple Knapped Abyss, the Atlantean Prince. We all know what he does. Plug and soul of the deck. Jason Momoa over here does quite a bit. So then we got Atlantean Dragoons. Same thing, 3 of. We all know what that does. It's not once per turn. Absolutely fucking nutty. We have Abyss Rhine. So Abyss Rhine is one of the cards that really pushes this deck over the edge. It's absolutely crazy what this card can do. Honestly, I am still playing the Coelacanth, which I am gonna be testing without the coelacanth at some point, but honestly, the coelacanth does have the most output in terms of what you're putting up on the board compared to the other version that plays the Magic-y Spirit, which you're getting a lot of cards in your hand, but you're not putting as much onto the field. So, but then from there we play double Poseidra. This card does so much; it breaks so many boards. It's crazy. I mean, you can your opponent has like a board with like, you know, some negation, some, you know, whatever. This honestly can clear 2 cards on its own. Card is absolutely crazy. But then 1 heavy infantry. So that's it for the Atlantean stuff. I mean, it's, you know, pretty standard. I'm pretty happy with the ratio there. Then we have standard triple Mermail Abyss, triple Mermail Abyss Pike. Finally get my QCs in. Triple Shadow Squad. I need QCs of this, but they're like $90 to $100 a piece, so I'm not, you know, not really too worried about it. But yeah, so that's it for the Mermail stuff. It's, you know, it's pretty consistent. Then for the one-ofs, non-Mermails, so we have Moulin Glacier, my favorite card in the deck. One of my favorite cards in the deck. Just ripping cards away from your opponent is crazy. In fact, in round 1, I probably should have lost, but my opponent kept hand traps and kept, because my opponent was on Malice in round 1, and he Perulia'd me. It was either Perulia or Furlough, one of the Mulch armies, and you know, I was kind of playing under it, you know, a little bit weirdly. I was trying to get to Barrier Statue as soon as possible, and he had Nib, Droll, and Impulse, and he was like waiting for me to like do certain things, and I was like trying to play under it. So like I was playing in a way that was like, you know, trying to just bait stuff, obviously. And it got to a point where I got the 5 waters, but he wanted to keep drawing so that he saw engine, because I guess he only saw non-engine and then not really effective non-engine. So he kept, you know, waiting, and eventually I just dropped the Moulin on him, and then I ripped both the Impulse and the Droll he had, and the Nib he had, actually, because he didn't nib me. Yeah, so that's what won me round 1. I was kind of wondering why he was waiting, but it was because he didn't see a starter through the Mulch Army draws. So that's how that goes. And then the reason why this deck is still playable in this way is coelacanth. I know this looks like a ghost rare, but actually this is the ultimate rare. But somebody took acetone to it. But it still looks really nice. It looks like a ghost rare. One of my best friends here, Austin, who is on the channel. You've seen his Rizzo deck profile. Great dude, great player. Ended up getting this, and you know, we all do some trading and bartering, and he knows I love this deck, and he's trying to build it as well. He got this originally for himself, but then I got mad at him, and we started debating about who deserves to play it, and then I got it. So yeah, I'm gonna rock the ulti. Why not? The ulti ghost rare. Then the main win condition of the deck at this point is Barrier Statue. Unfortunately, I do like Barrier Statue, but I just feel like it's weird because, you know, jeez, I'm so sorry. The Barrier Statue lock is good unless you end up mirror matching another MERMAIL player, or unless you play against somebody who plays water cards. I played against I actually played in locals right after, because it was sneak peek around 12:30. We played until I think like 5:30, and then after that it was the actual locals around like 6:30. But in the actual locals, actually I went X2 out of 4 rounds, but this ended up actually getting outed by a hero player, but I still managed to win that match. His name is Tony, really cool guy, really intelligent hero player. He's actually like, he knows the deck. It's not like your standard like hero player who just wants to summon Stratos. It's like actually good hero, hero lines and everything. He was able to out this with an ab 0, surprisingly enough. I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty good. But either way, this did win me quite a few games. As soon as I dropped this on people in the first tournament, in the sneak peek tournament where I won the mat, this won. So then from there, Deep Sea Minstrel, it's still at 1. It won me the tournament. It works. I do want to bump it up, but to be quite honest with you, I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. And then 1 Baby Croc, because Baby Croc in this deck, in tandem with Coelacanth, is pretty nuts. And then the last but not least for the engine is the 1 Abyss Sting Trina. This is just the only spell card in the actual engine. I mean, this list is pretty similar to my last list. The only difference I think really is the deck count increase, and then I'll show the side deck off, and maybe some things in the extra deck as well. But yeah, so that's that. Now then for the non-engine. So I did bump the non-engine up from the last list, which was probably posted like 2 days ago, because I post a new Mermail list every 10 minutes. So we have triple Folos, triple Perulia, triple Ash, triple Impulse, triple Imperm. These did all the work. I mean, I was so adamant on sticking to 40, and I was like, kind of hindering myself in a way, thinking about that, thinking back on that, because I don't necessarily think it had that much of an impact on my wins or anything, but for some reason, before I stuck to 40, but then, this past weekend I was rebuilding the deck because, I didn't do well at the tournament before, at the locals beforehand, and I was like, okay, what is going on with this deck? Maybe I should just try the 42, test it out, and see what cards I want to cut after the tournament. And now that I've done that, I think I'm gonna stick to this list for right now. So yeah, the 15 non-engine I think really helps. So the 3 Fua, 3 Perulia, you get all your Molcharmy draws with the Ash Blossoms, because this stopped so many Molcharmies. This card stopped so many Molcharmies over the tournament. Then Impulse, it's like this and Impermanence are the 2 cards you want to drop on your opponent by drawing through the Molcharmies, obviously. What's cool is it's not so much an interaction as much as I think it was intended by Konami. With Impermanence, when you use the Impermanence and then you also follow it up with an Impulse, you just get to destroy a card in a lot of scenarios, which is crazy. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So that's that for the main deck. 42 cards in total, which is weird for me to say. Totally weird, but you know what? Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a weird game like that, so like, maybe upping the deck count is literally what gave me a win. I don't know. But moving forward, Link Monsters. We have 1 Mermail King Neptibus, 1 Mermail Abyss Lacia, 1 Coral Anemone, and then 1 Abyss Keeper. I was skeptical about the Abyss Keeper. It's a little bit weird to me, but it did what it was supposed to do. We all know what they do. So, also this card did a lot of work making all my guys untargetable, which is really nice, as we all know. Then for the Xyz monsters, 1 Poseidra, 1 Gaios, 1 Abyss Trite, the Atlantean Spirits. That's it for the Mermail Xyz monsters. Then 1 Stealth Kraken, which was mainly in case my board, or in case my opponent drolled me and I couldn't really search things to put more cards on the board. I would just, go into Coelacanth, end on this. That was kind of the idea, but even even with Coelacanth, I was able to end on things like this, Bear Statue, etc., etc. So like, it did a lot. It really did a lot. So then 1 Snowdust Giant. This card is so rough. I mean, there were times where I didn't even actually summon this, so like, this card might be elective, but I do like the fact that it is a Dragoon Search, unfortunately. However, the Magic Key Spirit is something I still want to test. I just got them in the mail, so I will be building a separate Mermail list with that, and I'm going to test it out, and then depending on how that works, I'll profile that as well. Yeah, so Snowdust Giant, it's a Dragoon Search, basically. Then 1 Lavirtue Dragon. Honestly, this card has been one of my MVPs of the extra deck ever since the ban list. Like, this card has helped so much. because before Toad came out of the deck, when Bahamut Shark got banned, you know, you would use Toad to add back the Neptibus, and then use the Rhine to ditch the Neptibus to summon back the Poseidon. Poseidon send heavy infantry, target something bounce, heavy infantry, new chain, target something pop. So that was part of the line with the Toad. You would get a negate and the Neptibus back, and that was really busted. But now, this is your way to get that combo, and it's not too difficult to achieve. So, yeah, that's it for the Xyz monsters, and then the Synchro monsters. So one, Ice Jade Margarine. This card didn't really come up, but like there was, I think I made this in 2 matches in the actual tournament. One duel in each match. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, in game 1 I made this against my final matchup against Cosmosky. You know, the Malice player. Oh, he's not really a Malice player. He was telling me he hates Malice, and I get why. I made this because I figure, like, even if he does manage to like banish stuff, like you say he activates Malice and Underground. What I did was I made this and I linked it off with the Coral Anemone to make the Mermail link, to make the Mermail link 3. And then if you say, for example, went Malice and Underground, even though he couldn't technically summon anything because of Barrier Statue, if you went Malice and Underground, when your opponent banishes a card, you can summon this back from your grave. So I was like, all right, well, this will just come out as an extra interruption. Then I made, you know, Trishula. I did Trish a few people. It was pretty crazy to like hand loop people and do stuff. Then we got Deep Sea Prima Donna, Barrier Statue Lock. It do what it do. One Monoceros. Monoceros, as we all know, summons back a fish. Usually you're going to be summoning back the Baby Croc, the Grathus, but you know, you can summon back Pike as well. And then last but not least, this card was kind of elective, I feel, but like it's a really strong level 6 synchro, White Aura Porpoise. I think like I feel like it's mandatory at this point, but it's not really. I mean, there are. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. I was up late playing at the tournament, and then after the tournament, we all like hung around for a bit. But the White Aura Porpoise, the cool thing about the White Aura Porpoise is you can do a lot with it. You can summon back the Grethus and try and make more synchro lines. You can summon back a Pike, and if you have multiple Pikes, in your grave, you can summon them both back and then make a Stealth Dragon. Yeah, I mean, it does a lot, and it's not difficult to make in this deck. In worst case scenario, you just link it off as another material, so for your Mermail link. And then the side deck. Side deck honestly wasn't that great in my opinion, but it did have some relevant choices, so we'll get into it. So Nib. We all know Nib is really good right now. Nib put in a little bit of work. It didn't win me any games or anything, but I think that's also because I only saw it, I think, twice, and one time it didn't win me the game, but definitely, you know, killed my opponent's board. And then the other time, I think I activated against Noak, and it did nothing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, unless that might have been in our practice rounds. But either way, it's an okay card. I don't think it's spectacular. Right? It wasn't spectacular in this tournament, at least. But I have seen Nib do a lot of crazy stuff in this format, so there's no reason to cut this. Then I play Double Minstrel in the side. Obviously, this comes in. If I win game, or if I lose game 1, this comes in game 2, or if I win game 1, lose game 2, this comes in game 3. So, you know, you're trying to hand loop. You need to get cards out of your opponent's hand. This is always your first action. So then, double Lightning Storm. Honestly, this was for back row, and things like Blue Eyes White Dragon. Actually, surprisingly enough, in case they have True Light on their board. I can just blow up the True Light, blow up whatever back row they have. Maybe they have like an Impermanence or something set. I just blow it all up, and then everything goes with it. Same explanation for the Feather Duster. I mean, I've been noticing that like decks have been playing a little bit more back row, and that could just be because they're playing like the Impulses, the Purges, you know, Imperms. Maybe they're siding Judgments or whatever. You know, there's a number of reasons why you know, back row is kind of seeing a little bit more relevance right now. So yeah, so we're playing that. And then I did actually side the Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi, which surprisingly enough is actually what I think was the card that won my matchup against Noak, which was lucky, because TJ, again, one of the best players I personally know. Like, you know, when it comes down to it, like when for like knowledge on other decks, I look to him. So Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi actually ended up winning winning the match against him because in game 3, you know, there was a little bit of a hand trap war, and then he had Tracked in his hand, and I had the Mermail link on field with a way to trigger its effect during his turn. So that's what happened. I triggered it during his turn, and the last ending card he had was Abyss Scale, Tracked, Fiendsmith Tracked, and he immediately, you know, he was like, oh, I can't even do anything. So, yeah, but that was a completely lucky game. You know, it's just because he saw mostly non-engine. I mean, he was playing like 21 non-engine, I believe, something like that, crazy. But again, one of the best players I know, so. You know, very proud to say that I was able to beat him in a competitive setting, because when tournaments get going, he gets crazy. You know, his mind for Yu-Gi-Oh is nuts. But either way, moving forward, we got Triple Tactics Talent. This is again a going first card. Same with Called by the Grave. You just side out when you're going into a sided game and you know you're going to be going first. You side in Called by Talents, this 2 Minstrels, and then the Virtue Stream. Those are the 6 cards that go in for the Mulch Armies. You know, you just get, at the very least, you get, you know, more ways to either hand loop or, you know, stop hand traps, so that way your combos are a little more insulated. And then last but not least is, surprisingly enough, triple evenly matched. Evenly matched actually did do a little bit of work. I mean, it wasn't like crazy, but it did help with a few, you know, boards that I needed to kind of get through. I think I'm gonna keep evenly matched in for a little bit, see how it works in the current meta. It's kind of as another one of my good buddies, Adam Pruchanowski, said, it's an all right card. It's ass when it's not. It's like very ass when it's not good, but when it's good, it's fine. It's fine. And it's one of those cards where like you see it when you want it, and it's fine. You see it when you don't want it, and it's just a discard for something else. So, yeah, that is the side deck. Yeah, this is, by the way, to Pruch and Noak, everybody knows, you know, this is my 10 millionth Mermail deck profile, so, you know, congrats, we made it. You know, we're here. But either way, that was the Mermail deck, and my matchups were, as I said, round 1 was Malice, round 2 was, I played round 2. I don't remember what I played round 2, but I know I won. And then round 3, I lost against TJ. And then, so I think at some point, I know once we got to top cut, it was all due to tiebreakers that I managed to get into the top cut. So then it was me versus Noak, and I managed to take that match by some miracle. And then, you know, then after that was against Adam Kosmowski, and I managed to take that match, which again was kind of a back and forth. You know, game 3, like I said, he had Perulia, I had Ash, and then my first action after that was Minstrel Ditch Shadow Squad. The rest of my hand was Abyss Scale Triana. It was Abyss Scale Triana, Heavy Infantry, Minstrel Squad, and then Ash. That was my first hand. He went Perulia, I went Ash, then I went Minstrel, Ditch, Shadow Squad, and then from there he showed me his hand. He's like, you know what, I got nothing, bro, you got it, and that was it. So, very happy with the performance of this deck. I will be, like I said, doing some other things, like testing some other engines, like the Magic-y stuff and all that. But, yeah, so, thanks for, you know, watching. I appreciate the views you guys give us. Always, you know, let me know any kind of constructive criticism. I mean, this deck, like I said, it took first place. I mean, I think partially by sheer luck. But either way, you know, I played as best as I could as well. And also, keep your eye out for some deck profiles from my buddy Jake. That's my dude right there. He's playing the deck that he played in our most recent duel video. I'll be posting as well soon, but I just wanted to get this up as soon as possible so that there's a little bit of recency. Because I tend to do that where I procrastinate and don't put a deck profile up for like 2 weeks, just because I'm like really tired after work every day. But yeah, so Eric here with Team Eccentric. Thanks for the views, and I'm signing out.